Some rivalries are about championships, others are about pride. What started as a fight for respect between two cousins grew into the most important story of a generation. Roman Reigns vs. Jey Uso wasn't just about family pride, it was the birth of the tribal chief, the rise of the bloodline and creation of one of the most dominant reigns in history. This is Roman Reigns vs. Jey Uso, the feud that changed everything. In the summer of 2020, Roman Reigns returned to WWE with a vengeance. After months away, he resurfaced at SummerSlam 2020, aligning himself with Paul Heyman and announcing a chilling new persona, the tribal chief of the Anoa'i family. The once heroic big dog had twisted into the ruthless head of the table. From that moment, every move he made felt like a challenge to his own blood. The question was, how far would Reigns go to demand respect from his own family? Across SmackDown in late summer, Reigns spoke of legacy and dominance. He declared himself the undisputed master of his kin, and he dared any cousin to contradict him. Only one family member truly dared: Jey Uso, the younger Uso brother. Jey, fueled by pride and loyalty to himself, refused to bow easily. The tension simmered quietly at first, but it was clear. This was a family feud unlike any other. The collision came on September 27, 2020 at Clash of Champions. Roman Reigns defended the Universal title against his own cousin, Jey Uso. Under the bright lights of the Thunderdome, Reigns dominated. When Jey fought back and dared pin Reigns, Roman low-blowed him and surged back to power. He insisted Jey call him tribal chief, the head of the Anoa'i family. Jey refused, leading to a brutal beatdown. The carnage ended only when an injured Jimmy Uso ran in to save his brother. Jimmy threw in the towel as Reigns pummeled Jey, giving Roman the victory by technical knockout. Later on SmackDown, WWE staged a coronation. He insisted that Jey himself bow first. When Jey balked, the tribal chief made a dark proclamation: another title match was coming. This time, the stakes would be higher than ever. On October 25th, at Hell in a Cell 2020, Roman got his wish. In a first-ever I Quit Hell in a Cell match, cousin faced cousin with everything on the line. The steel cage loomed as both men knew there would be no safe retreat. Inside the cell, Roman showed no mercy. He began by spearing Jey, but Jey managed to fight back, landing Uso splashes and high elbows. Reigns replied with even more savagery. The match's emotional weight grew. Even Paul Heyman looked uneasy. At one point Reigns struck Jey with a drive-by kick. Jey, barely conscious, still clung to defiance. In the climax, Jimmy Uso once again dashed to save Jey, pleading and praying. For a moment, it seemed Reigns might relent. Instead, Roman trapped Jimmy Uso in a punishing guillotine choke. Under the crushing pressure, Jey finally whispered, "I quit." The arena fell silent as Roman rose victorious, unconquered. When it was over, the tribal chief walked out with a smug certainty. His father Sika and Uncle Afa embraced him, formally anointing him as the head of the table. In the weeks that followed, a new power structure emerged. Injured and broken, Jey Uso submitted to Roman. In October 2020, Jey knelt behind Reigns, officially joining him, thus forming the bloodline. The faction's creed was clear: the tribal chief on top, with his cousins at his command. Heyman remained at Roman's side as special counsel, and Jey became the first official use of the bloodline. It wasn't long before another Uso brother joined. In May 2021, Jimmy Uso returned from injury to find his tribe waiting. After hesitation, Jimmy accepted Roman's offer and took his place alongside Jey. The bloodline was complete: Roman Reigns at its head, the Uso twins flanking him, and a legacy that stretched back generations. Together, they ruled WWE. For months, Roman's dominance was nearly absolute. His Universal title, won at Payback 2020, only grew more legendary. By 2022 it was the longest reign in modern WWE history. Meanwhile, Jimmy and Jey dominated the tag division, capturing and holding the SmackDown Tag Team Championships. On television, every match, every victory, reinforced the aura. The bloodline stood unchallenged on SmackDown. Yet even a fortress can show cracks. In late 2022, Sami Zayn began winning over the bloodline, earning the nickname Honorary Use. For a while, his comedy and loyalty kept the family strong, but the seeds of betrayal were already planted. At the Royal Rumble 2023, the turning point arrived. After Roman Reigns retained his title against Kevin Owens, he ordered Sami to deliver one final, humiliating chair shot to Owens. But instead, Sami turned on Roman, slamming the steel chair into the back of the tribal chief. The arena erupted, and the bloodline splintered before our eyes. Jey Uso, torn between family and friendship, walked away from Roman that night. For weeks, his loyalty remained uncertain. But when the time came, Jey chose blood over brotherhood, siding with Roman and Jimmy against Sami and Owens. At WrestleMania 39, the story reached new heights. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens challenged the Usos for the undisputed tag team titles in the main event of Night 1. Zayn wasn't with Roman, he was against him, standing alongside Cody Rhodes and Kevin Owens in opposition to the Bloodline. In an emotional climax, Zayn and Owens dethroned the Usos, ending their historic tag title reign and delivering a stunning blow to Roman's empire. The fallout was immediate. The Usos, desperate to reclaim their gold, failed again and again. Roman, disgusted with their failures, berated them on SmackDown week after week. The cracks widened, as resentment between Roman and his cousins grew stronger. Finally, at Night of Champions 2023, it all exploded. In the middle of a tag match where Roman teamed with Solo Sikoa, Jimmy Uso snapped. With the world watching, he superkicked the tribal chief not once, but twice. The Bloodline's foundation shook to its core. The very next month, at Money in the Bank 2023, WWE billed the tag team main event as the Bloodline Civil War. The Usos stood tall, defeating Roman and Solo in a match that saw Jey Uso become the first man to pin Roman Reigns in over 3 years. The crowd roared. Roman had finally been humbled. But the victory came with a heavy price. Just days later on SmackDown, Solo Sikoa brutally attacked Jimmy Uso under Roman's orders. The assault left Jimmy sidelined with a storyline injury, tearing Jey apart emotionally. Once again, the tribal chief proved that in his kingdom, family loyalty was only a weapon to be used against his own blood. That led directly to SummerSlam 2023, where Roman Reigns defended his undisputed championship against Jey Uso in a tribal combat match. It was cousin versus cousin, family honor on the line once again. In a heartbreaking twist, Jimmy Uso returned, but instead of saving Jey, he betrayed him, costing him the match and the chance to become champion. Roman stood tall once more, but the betrayal ensured that the Bloodline saga was far from over. From family pride to absolute power, the story of Roman Reigns and Jey Uso has defined an entire era of WWE. What began in 2020 gave birth to the Bloodline, carried Roman to historic dominance, and transformed Jey from a tag team specialist into a main event star. Yet even now, the story isn't finished. With Jey Uso showing signs of another heel turn, the family war that changed everything may be about to enter a new chapter. The Bloodline may be fractured, but its shadow still looms over WWE. Because when it comes to Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, one truth remains: this feud never truly ends. Drop a comment below. Do you think Jey Uso will turn heel again? And don't forget to like and subscribe for more.